Hello, everybody. This is Jeremy Martin from youtube.com/Cosmic Forums. Today, we are going to be doing the long haul on installing Crostini onto your Chromebook. And this is going to take a lot of patience, and it's going to be a while. So go ahead and get yourself a cup of joe and pull up for the long haul. This is probably going to take about a good 30 minutes or so. First thing we're going to do is, first off, note the date, September 28, 2019. That does make a difference, as well as the operating system. Now, we are at 77 right now. We are going to double check that here. We've got a list of everything that we're going to be doing here. First, we're going to do is check your settings to see if the Linux button is available on your Chromebook. So we're going to go down here to, if you don't have this on your Chromebook, if you don't have the penguin here, then you probably are going to have to go and find a way to get this thing onto your, because I'm not even going to mess with you going into the developer channel, right? I'm not even going to mess with that. Either you got it in your settings and you can just push a button and turn Linux on, or try it somewhere else, because I'm not going to mess with the dev channel. All right, so we know that we have Linux beta. And we got that button right there that says turn on. That's a lot easier than when I first bought this Chromebook a couple months ago. The next thing we're going to do is check Chrome OS for updates. We're going to go right down here. All right, we're on version 77. And we want to check for updates. We are good to go. We are going to install Crostini, which is a lot easier now than it was when I first did it. So long ago. Go down to Linux, beta, click on it, and you're going to do turn it on. Install. There we go. This is and it's not just Linux. It's based on Debian, and they call it Crostini, and sometimes they call it Penguin. But I'm going to be doing a lot of pausing in between, because this takes a while. So let me get everything set up here to pause. When this thing is done installing, it opens up the terminal. So once I unpause it, the terminal will be ready to go. So you're not missing anything, is what I'm saying. And we are back. We have got the terminal has been, this is the first thing that opens. Once it's done setting up, the terminal just pops right open on you. So you just go ahead and minimize it. And what we're going to want to do when you see it pop up, and this is why they call it pink. This is why they call it Penguin right here, because Penguin is in the command line. All right, so you want to go down to your tray, and that's what you're looking for right there. This is where all your Linux apps are going to be, and your first app that you have in there is, of course, and your only app right now is the terminal, which is Debian based. All right, so let's minimize this. The next thing we've got that done. This is done. This is done. This is done. We are now going to start doing some terminal commands to get your terminal set up and ready to go proper. First thing, right off the bat, we're going to get some updates on our Debian software. So sudo apt get update. Oh yeah, give me that code. Sudo is super user do. That's like administrator command. And as you can see, they got all these packages here. You see Debian, 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 all the way down. And we are done. And it is waiting the next sudo apt, which is, I don't even think I can, I doubt I can copy and paste into it. I've never even tried to copy and paste into it. I don't think it allows you to do it. No, it don't. So let's, give me 1 second here. Oh, yeah, that's much better right there. So, sudo super user do apt get distribution upgrade. And you want to hit yes. Dependency tree, reading the packages, additional disk space. Yes. Are you on? Give me that code. Give me all that beautiful code. Oh, yeah. Once we get the distribution upgraded, we're going to get and install the Gnome software package and a Gnome Package Kit. It's basically it's like Google Play Store for Linux. It's a software store. You got it's like say Chrome App Store for your extensions on your Chrome, except in this situation, it's for your Crostini. It's for your Linux. And there we go. All right, another super user do apt get space install space gnome software space gnome P-A-C-K-H-E Package Kit. I think I typed that right. I hope I typed it right. Dev archive Python. Yes. Yes. Type in yes and enter. Or type in Y and enter. All that Debian right there. Now this Chrome OS is kind of sort of Linux, kind of sort of Debian, and Crostini is basically a way for Chrome OS to have a little bit more Debian in it. Same thing with Android. Android is kind of sort of Linux. It's a lot of hybrid code in it. Everything works in a sandbox, and when Crostini first came out, it was boxed in really hardcore. I mean, it didn't even have any sound coming out of it. But as time has gone by, they've been able to get sound in it and not take away from the security of Chrome OS, which is like the number one main reason why a lot of people go to Chrome OS is because of the simplicity and the security. I think I'm going to go and pause this until this is done. You're not missing anything. And there you go, just like magic. So we have, let's drop that down and let's pull this up. Okay, so here is a list of all of the commands. And I'm going to put all of this in the description of the video. Now we're going to swing on over. Hold on. Before we go to Chrome flags, we're going to double check to make sure. Oh, yeah, look at that right there. Oh, yeah, that is a beautiful sight. Look at that. Okay, so here's this. Hello, everybody. This will be part 2. Installing Crostini, part 2. After the restart. Sorry that part 1 ended so abruptly, but my Gnome software system was coming up blank, so I had to go ahead and restart, and now part of it is coming up. So now we need to go and upgrade again, like we did at the beginning of like the first commands we made when we first got the terminal. So let's go into Linux apps, and we're going to pull up the terminal. Let's run this right here, and then we're going to Alt left bracket that sucker, and let's drag this over some. That's Chrome Penguin right there. Hi, Mr. Penguin. Just going to roll this on up right here. All right. Let's tell Penguin that we want to super user do apt get Update. Let's just update everything, Mr. or Mrs. Penguin. All right. And sudo apt get dist upgrade. Oh, crap. Sudo apt get dist upgrade. There you go. Yeah, Linux is capital and lowercase sensitive, very similar to the filing system in your Chromebook and on Drive. So, I mean, unlike Windows, where everything has got to be rammed into each other in lowercase, you can in your Drive and in your files on your Chromebook, you can have uppercase and lowercase and spaces and all that other stuff. So that's one of the reasons why it didn't see the command, literally because I had an uppercase. Yeah, I don't see anything else I screwed up on that. Yeah, it turned my command down literally because I had an uppercase on it. But let's see if we have to, hopefully I don't have to restart the computer again. Otherwise, we're going to have part 3. All right, come on. Here, let me close this out first. Leave. And come on, baby. Load up. That's it. Load. Oh, shit. We got awesome mixer, awesome volume bar. Son of a biscuit. All right, I guess I'm going to bye. And we're rolling again, and it's part 3, Revenge of the Restart. Yes, after all that code I did, I had to go. It didn't come up, so I had to restart it again. And then when I went down and opened up the software, this sucker sat there and spun for about, I don't know, maybe about a minute or so. And then it finally opened. Whoosh. And that's the way it should look. And it looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We're getting all of the metadata on this and everything. Okay, so to double down and make sure that we got everything right. I mean, we got to troubleshoot it, right? If yours can come up first time, and I have had it happen before, where I load it up and it comes up the first time right off the bat. Right, and then there's been other times where I've done all the code exactly the way I showed you in part 1, and then I just do a reset, and it comes up. This is the hardest I've ever had to deal with, and honestly, I'm kind of glad that it happened, because then you can see what needs to be done to work your way through this. AppStream Debian. After you've done all those, do that sudo apt and excuse me, and get upgrade and all that other stuff, you need to make sure that you got AppStream Debian on here, because AppStream is how all the metadata works on this, and it should be installed already. Hold on. Yeah, right there. See? If you don't see AppStream in the installed portion, then you need to go and either I'm not even sure if it would be in the software itself. It might be. But if it's in the software itself, it should have already uploaded and installed with the package. So if for some reason you don't have the metadata thing, the app stream, you just swing right on over here to this Debian. Okay, remember, you can't just go to, say, Fedora or some other distro, right? You got to go. It's best to get, if you need to do a download, or if you need to pull up some notes or something like that, or ask questions, you want to go as close to the source as possible. And the source of Crostini is Debian. And now you can get away with going to Ubuntu, because Ubuntu is also Debian, right? Now, a lot of other distros are Debian based, but they get further and further away. Different kinds of kernels. I don't even want to get in depth on that. All I'm saying is that this is important, and without that, you are not going to get all of these images showing up. Especially this. You're not going to, because this is all metadata that's going to pull up all these images, and also a little bit of patience helps on. So I originally found it in here, but then it said that it was, I did the search for it in here, AppStream. I don't see it in here anymore. I guess it's because it's in the that it's in this now. So it's kind of funny, but it works good. And now we've restarted. We've done that, and then we restarted again. And this kicked in finally, the AppStream system, or the plugin metadata. So now we're going to Chrome. We are going to get Chrome ready. And we're going to go to Chrome flags. All right. And we are going to search for Crostini. As you can see, I got one right here. Let's go ahead and do the search. All right, so Crostini GPU support, that makes the GPU to where it can handle much better graphics, like for gaming and stuff like that. If you don't, before they had, this is a fairly new flag that they've got out, and this was a pretty big thing when this flag came out. Before that flag came out, it was kind of like a toss of the dice for playing video games on Linux. But now it shouldn't be. So we're going to hit enabled. And I don't know if you've never been in flags before. Whenever you enable a flag, it'll prompt you to restart now. And just because you're being prompted doesn't mean you have to do it right then and there. We can sit there and buckle down on as many flags as we want and then hit restart, and it'll restart all of them at once. All right, so you definitely want Crostini GPU support. All right. Then you want to go to Crostini Backup. Crostini Backup is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to go straight up to your drive. Just like all of your Android apps, if you have to power wash your Chromebook, this will take care of it. Now, I don't know if it's automated or not. I think you have to keep up with it manually for now. Remember, all of this is still in beta, so some of it's going to feel like it's being held together by staples and masking tape, right? And it gets better as the versions go by. I would not mess with this. Usually when it says something like this, at your own risk, it's usually best to just not mess with it. Or if you got to go into the dev channel, I usually just don't mess with it. I mean, I love messing around with this stuff, but I'm not going in that deep on it. You do want Crostini USB support. You want to be able to hook a USB stick into the side of your Chromebook and be able to say, if you want to, there is a program called GIMP that you can mess around with images and stuff like that. And if you got images that are outside of your drive or whatnot, from a camera or something, you could take it and put it into the USB drive, and you can load it up and use GIMP to highlight your photography or whatnot, what have you. Put some nice sweet editing on it. GIMP is really nice, and it takes forever to install. And I will be doing a video on installing GIMP. So I think that's a funny name too, GIMP, right? Enable the new web user interface. I wonder what that looks like. That looks brand spanking new. I haven't even looked into that one yet. Fuck it. Hello and welcome back to part 4 of installing Crostini. Revenge of the restart. Seems like we just can't get enough restarts going here. But the web UI is exactly what I thought it was, and I do believe I already have it on my Pixel book, but it ain't like it's hurting anything. So we go into our settings into Linux, and we're going to hit this little teeny tiny triangle here. Right, okay, so here's all what the flags did for us here. Manage shared folders. And this is where all your shared folders are going to be. The security on on Crostini is much higher than the security on Chrome OS. They really got it boxed in, but it ain't near as bad as what it was before. Available USB devices will appear here. So when you plug stuff in, and you're having problems with it, just pull up your settings and stuff to make sure everything's good. Back up and restore. Yeah, it's like the last time I was messing with it. You're gonna have to. It ain't like your Android apps, right? Your Android apps they get backed up automatically. I don't know, every 12 hours or something like that, but your Linux apps and files, you're going to have to manually back them up. For now, that might change in 78. Who knows? Replace your Linux app and files with a previous backup, which is really nice to have. Now, it was a big complaint back before they did this, is that if something went wrong, you saw how much we had to go through just to get this software system up. And we had to restart a couple times. If something goes wrong, it's a good thing to be able to have a restore and go up there and say, I want to move my Linux, my Crostini back in time to where it was yesterday, instead of having to go through all the crap that we've gone through all over again. So that's this is important, and you're going to have to keep up on it. So any kind of major changes you do, you want to back your stuff up. And of course, when you're finally sick of Linux, you can remove it there. And don't worry, if you accidentally hit it, it like most stuff in Chrome OS, it'll. Are you sure? Well, I'm sure that we got Crostini not only installed, but everything is set up right. Chrome OS is set up right for it. Now you can take these and you can drag them out if you want, right? Like you could take this software center and say like how I got that right there, the for the Play Store. You can take this and drop it right down in there. Now, I don't know if it's still the same problem, but last time I grabbed stuff out of this little container right here, last time I grabbed stuff out of that little container and moved it out of the way, it got a little buggy. I mean, it didn't mess anything up. It's just when I took it and dropped it down outside of this container, it forced a restart on me. But everything worked fine after that. So, just remember, I'm going to double down on this here. Just remember that it's beta. This is beta. And stuff's going to happen. So make sure you got everything backed up. And Google on, my brothers and sisters. Enjoy your new Crostini and all them extra apps